Hello everyone, Aviana here from Aviana's Ascension, and today I'm going to be doing a self-healing vlog. And today's vlog is going to be about love. Love within us, love outside of us, love all around us, okay? And I would like to preface this with just a disclaimer that I am not a doctor, psychiatrist, or anything of that nature. All of this information I've gained from different life experiences, spiritual practices, meditating, different books, things like that. So just take all of this with a grain of salt. If it feels right for you, cool. If it doesn't, that's okay. Just do what feels right for you, okay? But thank you guys for watching. Let's get into the self-healing vlog. Thank you. All right, so I want to start this love vlog by, I have different bullet points on my laptop here, and we're going to start with everything is love, okay? Because at the basic level of everything, it's all love. I believe that I'm love, you're love, this pillow is love, my table is love, okay? Because I believe that we all come from, like, the way I imagine it, it's kind of like a giant aura or a giant, like, orb of light, and I feel like that is pure love that we come from. Some people may feel like it's like heaven or the fifth dimension or nirvana or whatever, but I feel like it's just love, and I feel like we all call it different things, right? And I feel like that's where we all come from, okay? And, obviously we forget where we come from. We don't, as humans, as people, beings on earth, we don't remember all of those things because we're here to learn different lessons and things like that and grow and evolve so we can come back to that realization, I believe. So I just think everything comes from love. Everything comes from that aura, that orb, whatever you want to call it. Okay. I feel like because of the way society has categorized love, we have forgotten that quite a bit. Usually whenever we think of love, we think of like Valentine's Day, we think of weddings, we think of certain loved ones, romantic partners, friends. And I do believe that society is breaking love out of that box. I mean, we are diving into a lot of spiritual work, a lot of self-care, meditations, yoga, chakra work. All of this spiritual stuff is getting a lot more popular. So I definitely see that we are, breaking love out of that confinement, out of that definition, which is really cool. Because everything is love, I feel like we have to redefine what we see as love, okay? So a lot of the times we have this notion, this idea that love is only for romantic partners. Love is only happy, joyous, positive. Love is only, sweet and romantic. And that's not the case, Love is not just a warm embrace or a kiss. Love is also speaking your mind, setting boundaries. Love is also, walking away from things that don't work for you so you can go towards things that do work for you. And a lot of the times we think that someone like giving us advice or someone, checking us is something we have to be defensive against, right? But kind of think of it as like, when you were younger and you would get grounded or your parents would like get on you for something, they're not doing it because they hate you and they want you to have a horrible life. They're doing it because they love you, they want to protect you, they want to take care of you, they want you to be safe. So whenever we, maybe are, like I was saying, say somebody's coming at you with some sort of guidance or advice, and it may be a hard pill to swallow. We naturally think that is something we need to be defensive against or oppose, but someone that is brave enough to come to you and be like, hey, you need to check this and do that and get yourself together, that is an act of love. That's an act of brave love, okay? Because to say something to someone that they may not like, but you say it anyways because you love them so much you don't care if they get mad at you, that's love. Okay, so we definitely are redefining what we see as love and becoming more inclusive about different things being different forms of love, which is cool. That's what we have to do. And that's definitely a way to honor your needs as well, because sometimes we will love someone so much that we feel like, oh, well, because I love them so much, I'm just going to let them act a certain way or treat me a certain way. And you have to have enough love for yourself to stand up for yourself and to stand up for your loved ones when they may not be so aware as to what they're doing. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. And to kind of speak on that as well, love is very adaptable. Okay. So love flows and works from detachment. Okay. So that means walking away from something is an act of love as well. And if you feel like overly attached to something, or feel like if I walk away from this, if I do this, then I won't be acting of love, out of love, or I won't be able to receive love, that's just your ego or your shadow, inner child, whatever. Because love, again, everything is love. So it's all love. Like, I don't know, it's all love, right? So let's give an example for that. So say, like, there is like a relationship you're in where you just are like, I love this person, but I don't see us going much further, or maybe it's just not as healthy as you wish it would be, whatever the case may be. Walking away from a relationship like that, say a friendship, say a family member, a job, whatever, that is love. And how that is love is by, first of all, you loving yourself, you knowing your needs aren't being met, you knowing there's something that is in better alignment for you. That is an act of love for yourself to move towards that. But it's also an act of love for that other person or other situation, because walking away from it frees them to also find someone or something that is more in alignment for them. So while it may be hard to kind of rip off that Band-Aid, you're allowing, that wound to get some air and to heal and to recover. It may be painful at first, but it is out of love. And the more you can see things with that love perspective, rather than this is the pain, this is the hurt, this is what's going to be bad, it makes all of that easier. It makes all of that flow easier. Because like I said, love is adaptable, love flows, love is detached. Okay? So, and it's not to say like you don't have an emotional connection or anything. No. It's just that the weight of expectation isn't so heavy when you understand that everything is an act of love. And walking away from something is so brave and so loving, you can't judge yourself for it. That's what I believe. It's kind of just like, letting a kid go to college. Like, obviously, that's going to hurt. But you love your kid, and you want your kid to explore and grow and become their own person, so you're going to let them go. Same thing. Okay, now this circles back to uncomfortable feelings, and this was a collective reading, because I do tarot readings as well on my channel, so check it out. But I did a collective reading to realign with uncomfortable emotions, okay? And uncomfortable emotions like anger, irritation, feeling annoyed, feeling sad, feeling lonely, all of those are love too. Okay, and that kind of goes back to redefining love, letting love break out of that box of happiness, joy, comfort, and positivity. Anger, irritation, annoyance, loneliness, all of that is love too. And the way I see it is, if we didn't have these uncomfortable feelings, like say we didn't, feel anger, then we wouldn't know things weren't right for us. We would just be like, oh, this is great, I'm happy, And so when you have those uncomfortable feelings, don't judge yourself for having them, or don't judge the feelings. Be grateful that they're here to guide you, and they're here to show you, hey, this is what you like, this is what you don't like. And you can do all of that with the perspective of love. Be like, thank you, anger, for showing me that's not for me. And whatever brought on that anger, thank you, because now I know I don't like that. If we were always happy and going along with everything, I mean, it would be a great world, but we wouldn't be growing, we wouldn't be evolving, we wouldn't be, figuring out who we really are. So even though these feelings are weird and uncomfortable, they are also love, because it's guiding you. I love it. I'm really blowing through this a lot quicker than I thought I was. Okay, let's keep it going though. Okay, so the second point I wanted to make in regards to love, everything is love, is that sometimes to protect what we love, or to get closer to what we love, we may act in harmful ways. Okay? So this made me think of, when I wrote it down, I immediately thought of Israel and Palestine. Palestine. Okay, sorry. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I just wanted to make sure I was pronouncing it right. I think it's Palestine. Let's just say that. But, okay. First of all, I'm not, I have no dog in the fight, basically. So, and I am truly moving from love right now with what I'm saying. So, with that situation with Israel, Palestine, at the very root of it is two energies that are trying to protect and fight for what they love, their home, their people. I get that. We can all relate to that at some level, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes we equate protection to defense, right? Like, we want to protect someone, so we feel like we have to get aggressive with something else, or we have to shield, or we have to have a wall up, okay? And, you know, you're able to defend what you love with peace and communication as well. You know, and like I was saying with uncomfortable feelings, it's uncomfortable to feel anger. It's uncomfortable to, you know, go to war, right? Obviously. But what's fueling that? Yes, it may be anger towards another country or another people. But at the end of the day, it's wanting to protect your people in your home. That's making you go out at such an aggressive manner, right? So, I mean, I feel like we kind of saw it as well with like Trump and his election. Like, he has a love for old America and whatever he does, right? And his desire to protect that had him wilding out and being away towards other people. And at the root of it, everyone just wants to protect what they love. Okay? And with that situation, I feel like, with all those situations, honestly, I feel like the ego, the shadow, is at the forefront. You know, whenever, because love at the end of the day, like I said, love is very adaptable. Love flows. Love is inclusive, right? And I feel like whenever you let the ego, the shadow, be at the forefront to protect something you love, then that's when things get messy, you know? And let's see. Let me see. Because I wrote down, we have to create a space for open dialogue, empathy, and compassion. For both perspectives, that's how you are able to move with love and not let ego protect what you love. So yeah, I feel like that's basically the gist of what I'm trying to say right now, is the difference in letting love lead the way versus letting ego and the shadow and the fear lead the way, right? Because at the end of the day, love and ego, they kind of have the same goal. But how they go about that goal, how they perceive that goal, and what they need to do to attain it, that's where the difference lies, right? Because your ego, your shadow, always wants to protect you, always wants to make sure you're okay. Your ego, your shadow, doesn't want you to have to repeat any harmful, hurtful situations, okay? And that's how your past starts to dictate your future. That's how your inner child starts to make decisions for your adult self. Whenever you're thinking of past situations where you couldn't protect what you love, or you couldn't attain what you love, so now you try to avoid those situations and do what you need to do to prevent them from happening. That's what the ego does, okay? But love, on the other hand, love is a lot more compassionate and a lot more understanding. Love is a lot more open to compromise and open to dialogue. And so I feel like once we kind of realize that everyone just wants the same thing, and once we kind of let our ego take a back seat, I feel like this would be a lot more a nice symphony, you know? I don't know. I know I'm not making a lot of sense. I feel like I'm not, but at the end of the day, we all want to protect what we love, and we have a choice to either let love guide that or let our ego guide that. And when our ego gets involved, it can get very messy. It can get very fearful and very malicious, honestly. And it's all out of protecting you, which is still beautiful and it's still admirable. But you have to remind your ego that love is always going to protect you. Love is always going to lead you down the right path. There's never any mistakes when you're moving with love. So you have to figure out how you can embrace that part of you rather than letting your ego lead the way when you're wanting to protect and defend what you love. Anyways. Okay, so other ways that our ego and shadow will protect us when dealing with love is whenever we feel judged or rejected from things we love. Obviously, we've all dealt with rejection. I've been rejected before many times, I'm not a stranger, right? But obviously it is, it's not a good feeling to be rejected. It's not a good feeling to be judged. And so your ego, your shadow will show up to protect you from that, to keep you from going towards that rejection, to keep you from embracing it. And really the thing is, it's beautiful to embrace these things because rejection is protection. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes something is not meant for you. Sometimes you're not in alignment with something. Sometimes there's more healing, more learning, more growing that needs to be done. And whenever we are rejected or judged or whatever, maybe that situation is showing us that. Okay? And how can you embrace that with more love? How can you say thank you for showing me that there's more work I need to do? Thank you for keeping me from derailing from the path I need to be on. Our ego, our shadow will take it as a blow and be like, oh, I didn't deserve that. They'll be like, oh, I'm never going to do that again, so I don't have to deal with that ever again, and it's, your ego loves you so much. It really does. But your ego keeps you held back, keeps you in a box. And we don't want to do that. We did that with love. We don't want to do that, So thank your ego. Appreciate your ego. Thank your shadow. And say, thank you for keeping me safe, but I've got it from here. I can trust, you can trust me. I got this, But yeah. Sometimes we let the ego, the shadow's desire, really dictate how we move. Sometimes we let the ego, the shadow's fears dictate how we move. But again, love is adaptable. Love is fearless. Love is everything. So with that perspective, embrace that rejection, embrace that, judgment, because it's here to teach you something. It's here to show you something, and everything is love. So just embrace it with love. All right. Last little bit here, and this is my favorite part. Okay, so since everything is love, that means we are love, okay? We, at our very root, our very barest, are love. Alrighty, and since we are love, we never have to look externally for love, okay? That's like if planet Earth was looking for water other places. Planet Earth, we've got plenty of water here. We've got all these oceans, all these rivers. We've got, plumbing, if we're lucky enough to have it, right? We've got plenty of water. If Earth looked around at the other planets, at the outer space for water, do you think Earth would find it? No, because there's no other water. There could be somewhere, but we don't have access to it right now, right? So Earth would get very, disappointed looking for water other places. But if Earth, like it's doing now, just minded its business, looked within, and dealt with its, inner workings, it would realize, I've got so much water. I've got a plethora of water. Why am I looking everywhere else for water? I've got all the different forms of water. I've got ice. I've got clouds. I've got oceans and rivers and water bottles. Like, there's so much water here. I don't need to look anywhere else. That is the same way with you and your love. Okay? there is an inner well of love, an inner, like, what is it, like an oil rig or something? And once you tap into that, phew, love. Okay, so obviously, and that kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier. We have, as a society, defined love in such a way that, and again, we are moving out of this because, again, we're talking a lot about self-care, a lot about self-love, our shadow work, our inner child. That is common terminologies that we are using nowadays, which is great. So, how we have defined love in the past, again, is a lot with, having to do with another person, romantic love, family, friends, right? A job, a car, or something like that. And once we realize that love is within us, an infinite resource within us, there will be no more need for lack or need to attach to something that is not meant for you. Okay? So, how you need to tap. Okay, so maybe we should talk about. I like how I don't really, organize these. I just kind of freeball it. But so let's talk about the blockages with this, and then we're going to talk about how we can come back to it. Okay. So sometimes we don't realize that there is an inner well of love within us because, maybe you were in an unhealthy relationship where someone kind of tore you down. Maybe you had a friend like that, a family member like that. Maybe in school you were torn down quite a bit. Okay, there can be, and that's where the ego and the shadow comes in, right? There can be a million different things that have given you this false narrative that you are unworthy, undeserving of love. And that's not true. At the very minimum, love is our birthright because it's within us. It's where we all come from. It's where we're all going. That's why loved ones guide you, to the afterlife because we're going to love. Okay. And so spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, it will give you your epitome of love. And usually, because of the way society has defined it, it's usually another person, which is fine. That's beautiful, right? But it's within us, right? So that's why loved ones guide us to the afterlife because that's what we associate with love and that's what we're going to, right? So no matter what's happened in the past, know that at the very bare minimum, on your very worst day, with the very worst version of yourself, you are loved, you deserve love, period. There is nothing you can do to where you are not deserving of that. It's everyone's birthright. It's where we all come from. It's where we're all going to. So that is your right, period. I don't care. Know that. Okay, but yeah, sometimes things happen to us. We go through things and we carry that shit with us. So drop those narratives because it's not true. If it's anything telling you you're not worthy, you're not deserving, it's not true. Okay, so there's that. So a way to kind of tap into this inner love and to really reawaken it and become reacquainted with it is to practice self-love. I mean, hey, practice makes perfect, right? So you can do this with there's a million self-love affirmations. I have my own self-love affirmation video you guys can watch, which are just different phrases you can repeat to yourself. And these phrases will help you remove the false narratives, the I don't deserve love, I'm unworthy, I did this, did that, and so therefore I'm not deserving of love. No. That will be replaced with I am love, I love myself, I deserve love, I'm cool, whatever. But yeah, so you can do affirmations, there's meditations you can do as well. You can take yourself on dates, buy yourself flowers, get all dolled up, wear your favorite outfits, go out in nature, do things that make you happy, do things that remind you that you are loved, okay? And, maybe even doing yoga, maybe doing some arts and crafts, listening to your favorite music, dancing, going out, take yourself out on a date, go by yourself. I go out to dinner all the time by myself. It's fierce, okay? Because not only do I get to people watch, but I also just get to be by myself, order what I want. Not that I don't always order what I want, but it's just a vibe being by yourself and going out to dinner. It really is a vibe, okay? But it is essential to do this daily, and it doesn't have to be daily, but do this frequent practice of self-love, because that's what will reactivate that knowing that you are loved, and that's what will release you from those false narratives that don't support that. Because at the end of the day, we are all love. Everything is love. You, me, this pillow, we're all love. Okay, so yeah, that practice of self-love, self-care will help you access the inner love easier and easier. Okay, that is the vlog. I did not expect this to go, I mean, I feel like it went really smooth. I'm not going to edit this. I feel like it was good how it is. So that's cool. So basically, to highlight it, what we're talking about, everything is love. Everything is love. Separation is not real. Okay? Only unity. Because what? Everything is love. Okay? Imagine it. Close your eyes. We're imagining the orb, the aura, it's, to me, it's like spring, it's sparkly, and it's like got twinkles. Imagine, what does love look like? Like, what, is it a giant heart? Like, what is it? Right? So imagine that, and know that's where you come from. That's who you are. Maybe it'll be the star. Maybe it'll be the sun. Whatever. Everything is love. Everything is love. Okay? Rejection is protection. All right? Thank your ego, thank your shadow self for taking care of you, but let it know that you've got it. Let it know that you trust in love to guide you. You don't need your ego or your shadow guiding you. Okay? And have more space for compassion and empathy and communication and cooperation. That's how we can all become unified in love. Alrighty? You are an infinite resource of love, just like the earth has an infinite resource of water. You don't have to ever look outside of yourself for love or validation, because that is your birthright. You are deserving of love. Period. Okay? That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I love you all, because why? You're all love. We're all love. Everything's love. Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Love you. I will see you guys next time. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you are picking up what I'm putting down. I do so many things. I do tarot, meditations, affirmations. I'm training right now to get my yoga certification. We're going to do some sound baths too soon. We should probably do that soon. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like and comment if this was beneficial for you, if you resonated. Definitely share if you know someone who could, use some guidance with love. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.